They canceled his ticket without a second thought, never realizing they were grounding the man who owned the entire airline. Nathan had not slept in 2 days. At sunrise, his phone rang with the call every child fears. His mother had passed away peacefully after a long illness. As a single father raising his 8-year-old daughter, Sophie, Nathan immediately booked the first available flight. Every minute mattered. His mother's funeral would take place the following afternoon, and missing it was something he couldn't bear. Holding Sophie's hand, he rushed into the crowded airport, carrying only a small backpack. When they reached the check-in counter, the airline employee frowned at the computer screen. "I'm sorry, sir. Your flight has been canceled due to an overbooking adjustment." Nathan looked stunned. "There must be another seat. My mother's funeral is tomorrow." The employee barely looked up. "There's nothing I can do." Nathan politely asked to speak with the supervisor. The supervisor arrived with an impatient expression. "We've already reassigned the remaining seats." Nathan quietly explained his situation again. "My daughter and I just need to get there." The supervisor sighed. "Sir, arguing won't change company policy." Nearby, passengers watched as Nathan lowered his head, trying to hide the tears forming in his eyes. Little Sophie gently squeezed his hand. "Daddy, Grandma would want you to stay strong." Nathan smiled weakly. "She would." Instead of raising his voice, he thanked the staff and walked toward a quiet corner of the terminal. He made one phone call. Within 20 minutes, several senior executives entered the airport. The supervisor assumed they had arrived because of a scheduling problem. He confidently walked over. Then everything changed. The executives stopped in front of Nathan. One of them spoke first. "Mr. Carter, we're deeply sorry for what happened." The entire terminal became silent. The supervisor looked confused. "Sir, you know him?" The airline's chief operating officer answered. "Know him? He founded this aviation group." The supervisor's face turned pale. Years earlier, Nathan had built one of the largest privately owned aviation companies in the country. After stepping away from daily operations to care for his sick mother and raise Sophie, he rarely appeared at company offices. Very few frontline employees knew what he looked like. Nathan calmly stood. "I never wanted special treatment." He looked around the terminal. "I only wanted my daughter and me to reach my mother's funeral." The executives immediately arranged a private company aircraft. Nathan quietly declined. "No." Everyone looked surprised. "If another scheduled flight can get us there in time, give the private aircraft to the medical transport team waiting for today's organ donation mission." The executives nodded respectfully. They quickly secured 2 seats on another. Partner Airline departing within the hour. Before leaving, Nathan turned toward the supervisor. "I won't fire anyone today." Relief spread across the supervisor's face. "But we do need to learn something." Nathan explained that policies should never replace compassion. When someone shares a genuine emergency, employees should have the authority to search every possible solution before simply saying no. The supervisor lowered his head. "I understand." Nathan smiled gently. "I hope you do." After attending his mother's funeral, Nathan returned to company headquarters. Instead of focusing on punishment, he launched a new passenger care program. Every employee received training on handling family emergencies, medical situations, and compassionate travel requests. Special emergency desks were created at every airport. Bereavement travel coordinators became available around the clock. No traveler facing tragedy would ever again feel ignored. Months later, Nathan quietly visited another airport wearing ordinary clothes. He watched from a distance as an elderly man rushed to the counter after learning his wife had suffered a medical emergency. This time, the employee immediately searched multiple airlines, contacted nearby airports, and found an alternate route within minutes. The grateful traveler broke into tears. Nathan smiled. The lesson had worked. As he prepared to leave, the same former supervisor approached him. "I wanted to thank you." Nathan looked surprised. "You could have ended my career." The supervisor shook his head. "Instead, you changed it." He explained that the experience had transformed how he treated every passenger. Nathan smiled warmly. "My mother always told me that real leadership isn't about reminding people who you are. It's about helping them become better." Years later, passengers often praised the airline for its compassion during life's most difficult moments. Few knew that the policy had begun because one grieving single father had quietly been told his seat no longer existed. Every anniversary of his mother's passing, Nathan and Sophie visited her favorite garden. As they placed fresh flowers beside her memorial, Sophie looked at her father. "Grandma would be proud." Nathan smiled through gentle tears. "I hope so." Because in honoring her memory, he had made sure thousands of other families would never have to face heartbreak alone in an airport terminal. If this story touched your heart, remember that kindness matters most when someone is carrying invisible grief. Treat every person with patience, because you never know what they are going through. Share this story with someone who believes compassion should always come before policy, and subscribe for more emotional stories with unforgettable endings.